San Antonio starts right now.
Crews trying to figure out what sparked an early morning blaze at a West Side apartment complex will tell you if anyone was hurt.
Yeah, let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. All right, there's not too much to look out there right now. Weirdly, same temperature that we started yesterday with 72 degrees. So what does the rest of the day look like? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. But until then, good morning. It is 6 o'clock this Sunday. It is officially May.
Oh, it's gonna be May. Had to do it.
Needed it.
Had to do it. You know what? I forgot about it until that moment.
I saw the starstruck look on your face. This was it. All right, so with May, are we going to have the same temperatures as yesterday, April?
Yeah, today is going to be very similar to yesterday, guys. You know, this morning we may have some light sprinkles. There's even a chance for an isolated shower or storm during the day today. But generally, it's just going to be warm and humid for your Sunday. All right, take a look outside right now. We're dealing with cloudy skies, 73 degrees, southeast winds at about 10 miles per hour. Elsewhere, we got 70 in Comfort, 72 in Rio Medina, 70 in Seguin, and 72 in Divine. Those temperatures are really close to the dew point. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some patchy drizzle out there, at least a little closer to sunrise. And then a couple of things to talk about. Firstly, what you need to know is that today will be humid. There could be some isolated showers and storms, isolated being the key word there. It's going to be warm with temperatures in the 80s, and it's going to be windy too, wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour. Our best chance for rain in the next 24 hours actually comes tonight. There's going to be some storms that will develop west, and they could make it to San Antonio in the overnight hours. Some of those storms out west could be severe, so we've got to talk about that. And then finally, in the week ahead, no big rainmakers in our week ahead, but we do instead have spotty rain chances. It's a pretty messy weather pattern. So coming up, we're going to talk about all of these and more, get you prepared for your Sunday. If you're planning on spending some time outside, I'll show you that future cast and talk about that chance for storms tonight. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, the main lanes of I-10 shut down for several hours overnight after a deadly crash.
Our Jonathan Gothel joins us live. Jonathan, we understand this all happened after a woman escaped from custody.
That's right, Sarah. San Antonio police they're telling us that Via Transit Police had a woman in custody and she managed to get away from an officer. The scene just clearing here on the main lanes of I-10. Let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know this incident all happening close to 2 o'clock this morning. San Antonio police say that woman was hit and killed by a vehicle after she managed to break free from custody. They say she ran onto the westbound lanes of I-10 and was hit by a driver traveling in that direction. Now, it's important to note that the driver did stop to offer help, but that woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The details as to why she was in custody and, of course, her identity, that still hasn't been released. All this remains under investigation. Reporting live off of I-10 West, Jonathan Quinton, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Also new this morning, cleanup is underway after an early morning fire at a West Side apartment complex. It started around 2 this morning at the Medeo Spring Ranch Apartments on Marbach Road. Crews say the flames broke out on the first floor of one of the units. They were able to quickly contain the fire before it spread to other buildings. No one was home at the time of the fire and no one was hurt. San Antonio Fire Department is helping the family that are displaced for the time being. It's still unclear what sparked that fire.
An update now to a story we first brought you on GMSA. We now know the name of the man killed in a motorcycle crash on I-35. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying the victim as 49-year-old Eduardo Valdez. Now, the crash happened around 4 yesterday at the I-35 North and Highway 90 exchange on the city's south side. San Antonio police say Valdez lost control of his motorcycle trying to go around a curve. He hit a curb. He was thrown from the bike. Police say he was pronounced dead at the scene.
Well, after a farming accident nearly cost him his arm and his life, a Pleasanton man is giving back in the same way he was saved. Scott Mussey's arm was nearly severed by a piece of farming equipment last April. His life was saved thanks to blood transfusions given to him on the way to the hospital. Now, a year after, because of safety protocols, Mussey was able to donate to give others a second chance like he was given. We're going to have more on this story coming up in our next half hour of Good Morning San Antonio.
Some other top stories around the country this morning. We're following a deadly shooting at a festival in Mississippi. All of this unfolding last night at the Mississippi Fairgrounds in Jackson. According to reports, this incident had multiple shooters. We know at least one person dead, 5 others injured. We're told 2 people were detained at the scene. The people who were hurt are in stable condition this morning. We're going to have more updates throughout the day, so make sure to stay with us online and on air as this investigation unfolds.
Well, the Texas National Guard member who died trying to save migrants from drowning in the Rio Grande has been laid to rest. The funeral for Bishop Evans was held in Arlington, Texas yesterday, followed by burial services at the Dallas-Fort Worth National Cemetery. After Evans passed, he was promoted to rank of sergeant. The 22-year-old drowned trying to rescue 2 migrants crossing the Rio Grande River on April 22nd. His body was recovered and identified on Monday. Although Sergeant Bishop was not authorized to enter the water, he disobeyed those orders to try to save the migrants.
Well, country music legend Naomi Judd has died at the age of 76 years old. In the Judds, the duo she formed with her daughter Winona, Naomi Judd won 5 Grammys and charted 14 #1 hits. Her other famous daughter, the actress Ashley Judd, announced her mother's tragic passing on Twitter. The tweet revealing that Judd lost her mother to the disease of mental illness without providing any more specific details. The Judds were actually scheduled to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame later today. Time now 6:06, 72 degrees out.
Got so much more coming up on GMSA, including the latest on those wildfires burning in New Mexico.
And we're going to tell you about a problem we started telling you about yesterday, but this is more specific. A local pet-friendly restaurant says they're dealing a lot with it. That was a cute winter dog.
Very cute. This weather's not cute, though. 72 degrees at 6:06 this morning. That humidity continues to be the trend. Sarah Spivey will have our Sunday forecast when we come back.
Good morning and welcome back. A local pet-friendly restaurant on San Antonio's north side. Well, they are now facing a growing problem.
Hops and Hounds on Jones Waltzmerger Road is a place catered to dogs and their owners, but they're seeing more and more cases of people actually abandoning their dogs at the restaurant.
As John Paul Barajas reports, other customers and staff are now stepping up to help out.
It's a dog lover's paradise. Dogs everywhere playing and plenty of cold drinks and food to pass the day. Hops and Hounds concept marketing to dog owners, although successful, is now running into issues of people abandoning their pups at their establishment.
That really sucks. I mean, it's like a terrible thing to do to a dog. You know, I mean, what's more faithful than a dog? And they love you unconditionally and you just leave them behind.
If you get a dog, you're in a commitment for a long time. And so it just kind of makes me sad to see people do that because, you know, they're here for us and they love us so much.
These 2 were left behind in one of the pens where the dogs are allowed to roam free back on April 16th, according to management, making it the 3rd time it's happened in the 2 years the restaurant has been open. General Manager Alana Diaz explains it just happening once is too many.
It's frustrating on our end because we aren't a dog shelter, so we don't have the equipment or anything to take care of dogs.
The 2 pups from the most recent abandonment were taken in by a customer for the weekend. After no luck in finding the owner, they were taken to Charming Pet Rescue. The other dogs who were left behind were adopted by an employee and a different customer. To stop dogs from being abandoned here in the future, we're told they are setting up security cameras as well as having employees inside the dog pens at all times so someone can't just unleash their dog, stay Shasta, and walk out.
And to see these dogs kind of just confused and sad, I mean, they always just look so sad whenever we are petting them or even feeding them. I mean, they just have a sad face on them and it's just heartbreaking.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Well, we're also told Hops and Hound has a close relationship with Humane Society to help if needed, but even those shelters are filling up at capacity. We had that story yesterday. They're needing a lot of fosters right now at this time, so if you're willing to foster, the pet shelters really need that help.
Absolutely. All right. So Sarah Spivey Hot and humid today.
Yeah, hot and humid today. You know, yesterday we kind of had that driving drizzle in the morning hours, and then it actually ended up being pretty nice in the afternoon. But today we're going to deal with warmth, humidity, and even a chance for a couple of showers and storms here and there. So let's take a look outside with live cam. Familiar sight out there, cloudy and 73 degrees. Now those temperatures are very close to the dew points, which are high up. It's very humid, noticeably humid. Notice that winds are from the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. Now the winds today are going to be a noticeable change from yesterday. We're going to have wind gusts of up to 20 to 25 miles per hour into the evening. Wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour is possible. So if you have outdoor plans, particularly this afternoon, just be prepared that it is going to be a bit windy at times. Okay, outside right now we've got 73 in Hondo, 73 in Pleasanton. Temperature is about 10 degrees warmer than what we usually see for a morning low this time of year. 76 in Cotulla, 69 rather in Kerrville. It's 73 in Kennedy and 76 in Del Rio. But again, the humidity is very noticeable out there right now. Dew points are in the upper 60s and near 70 at the top of the scale. To our north here, we have a stationary front that's eventually going to become a warm front and push to the north. So from a line from Midland to Austin, there could be a couple of showers early this morning, but really a big thing that's going to impact our chance for any kind of storms, especially late tonight, is the difference between this dry air out west, the West Texas dry line, and the Gulf of Mexico moisture and humidity. It's a pretty volatile combination, very dry air versus very humid air. And across parts of Texas, there will be numerous severe thunderstorms from Amarillo to Midland to Abilene. Now, late tonight, some of those storms are going to develop along the dry line closer to Del Rio, where scattered severe weather is possible with large hail, strong winds this evening and overnight. And this complex of storms is going to try to push to the east and make it to San Antonio by early Monday. So let me walk you through the high-res futurecast. Throughout the day today, especially in the morning, there's going to be a potential for an isolated shower or storm. We do not expect widespread rain during the day today, mainly just a humid day with morning clouds and afternoon sun. Then late tonight, that's when that complex of storms could develop out west along the Rio Grande, and this would be capable of large hail and gusty winds. This complex of storms, this is 8 p.m. tonight, is expected to weaken as it pushes east toward San Antonio by about midnight and into the overnight hours. But how much it'll weaken by, we'll have to wait and see. Will it completely fizzle out before it makes it to San Antonio? That's a possibility. Will it still maintain strength? That's a possibility too. But it could end up making for a slightly damp morning commute tomorrow. We'll be keeping an eye on that as far as rain chances go. That's our best chance for rain in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, this morning in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, we're going to have a couple of isolated light rain showers early this morning. It's going to stay cloudy with temperatures in the 70s this morning. Cloudy until noon. And then like yesterday, some afternoon sunshine. Will be near 80 degrees and into the afternoon too. That's when you'll notice that those winds are going to pick up, sustained from the southeast at 15, but gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. And then we'll reach a high temperature in the afternoon right around 90 degrees. Then tonight we'll be watching those storms out west to see if they can make it to San Antonio by tomorrow. There's going to be a few isolated showers in the forecast tomorrow. And in fact, in the week ahead, we really don't have a good rain-making system. Instead, it's a messy weather pattern where every day we'll have a chance for sporadic rain, but nothing concrete, unfortunately, that would give us that healthy drought-busting rain. Otherwise, the big story over the week is that it's going to be humid and warm just about every day, near 90 degrees with a heat index too. Sarah and Max.
May.
Hey, coming up, by the way,
yes,
it is May,
It is
so I'm
May.
going to wrap up April for us.
Okay.
If you thought it was warm, you'd be right.
Thank you, Sarah.
Just about 6:17, 72 degrees out.
Hey, the Rangers, they had a big win yesterday.
They
Max.
did have the big win, and actually, our assignments manager, Sean Talbot, was in attendance, but unfortunately his team did not get the win.
Sorry, Sean.
We're going to have the recap in just a bit.
Let's take a look at these lotto numbers. Pick 3, 916, Fireball 9, Daily 4, 6, 4, 7, 1, Fireball 8.
Cash 5, 4, 13, 15, 27, 30. Your Lotto, Texas, 1, 8, 13, 18, 34, 45. And here we go. Did you play?
No, because it was only like 20-ish.
Oh, yeah.
After
Who
the
needs 20 million? Here are your Powerball numbers. 14, 21, 37, 44, 63. Powerball 1, Power Play 3. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning, welcome back. We have baseball. Texas Rangers getting the opportunity to host the defending World Series champs, the Atlanta Braves, and they did not disappoint. Texas going to work early, scoring all 3 of their runs in the first 4 innings. Atlanta never leading. The Rangers only managed 1 score. The final from Globe Life Field. Rangers 3, Braves 1. But don't worry, we got more baseball today. Atlanta trying to bounce back. Again, 1:35 this afternoon in Arlington, Texas. Meanwhile, a very different story when it came to the Astros. Their squad taking on the Blue Jays on the road in Canada. Both Houston and Toronto had strong starts this season, but yesterday it was the Blue Jays who got the edge, beating the Astros with a final score of 2-1. Houston trying to redeem themselves, taking on the Blue Jays in an afternoon game as well today. That matchup set for 12:37 in Canada. And of course, it has been the talk of the weekend. We have draft talk. It is officially in the books. We're going to tell you how the Texans fared, how the Cowboys fared, plus some of our local homegrown talent when they heard their names in the draft. And of course, the latest on our UTSA stars. We're going to have that in our next half hour of GMSA. There was a lot of UTSA talent.
That's a tease because I didn't keep up, so I wanted to see where our UTSA players ended up.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
Awesome.
It's you go to UTSA, you go to the NFL. That's my pitch. There you go.
Saying it.
Time now, 6:22, 72 degrees out.
We'll be right back.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy May 1st.
It's May.
You want to do the Justin Timberlake thing?
Gonna be May.
Perfect. All right, 6:25, about 72 degrees out.
Hey, we have much more to come in our next half hour, including the story of a Pleasanton man who is giving back after he was giving a second chance of life.
Plus, we'll tell you why hundreds of thousands of water wells across the Lone Star State could be a safety hazard.
And a woman is dead this morning after she got away from a transit police officer and then was hit by a car on I-10. Jonathan Cotto will join us live with all those details.
San Antonio police investigating a crash involving a pedestrian happening right here on the westbound lanes of I-10. We'll tell you everything we know coming up on GMSA.
Well, good morning and happy Sunday. Just about 6:30 this morning. It is May 1st.
It's May 1st. And yesterday was kind of a yucky day. We talked about it all morning being super humid and gross. Sarah, you're saying today kind of repeat pattern.
Yeah, pretty much, except we do have a slightly better chance for storms late tonight. But humid, warm weather is the name of the game today. And that was the name of the game for April, too. So we wrapped up April. Here's a look at the month in review. All of those red squares you see there are a calendar day where the temperature was above average. We had 7 days at or below average. The rest of April was warmer than average. In fact, the entire month was 4.9 degrees above average. April 2022 will be our 5th warmest April ever on record. We got to see 98 degrees on April 13th, a Wednesday, and we were cool at times, especially in the mornings. April 8th, we got down to 44. But that's really fascinating to see just how much warmer than average we were, and today we're going to be warmer than average too. The average high today is 83. Here's a look at the forecast highs. We'll be in the upper 80s in San Antonio. It'll be 87 in Converse, 88 in Seguin, 90 in Divine, 90 in Hondo, mid-80s up in the Hill Country, Comfort, Kerrville, Bernie, 84 degrees for the high temperature. So today we are going to have a chance for an isolated shower or storm throughout the day. Isolated being the key word there, only about 20%. Otherwise, it's going to be windy. Winds will be from the southeast, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. And then late tonight, a complex of storms is going to develop out west and try to make a run for San Antonio. That's why there's a 30% chance for storms overnight tonight. I'm going to show you the future cast and talk more more about the potential for storms out west. If you live in our western counties, there is the potential for some severe weather too. So we'll be talking about that coming up in a few minutes. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, the main lanes of I-10 shut down for several hours overnight following a crash involving a pedestrian.
Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live. Jonathan, we understand this all happened after that woman escaped from custody.
That's right, Max. San Antonio police are telling us that woman was in custody with Via Transit Police, but she managed to get away from one of their officers. The scene here on I-10, the main lanes of I-10, just clearing up moments ago. But let's take a look at what that scene looked like earlier this morning. We know this incident happened close to 2 o'clock this morning. San Antonio police say the woman was hit and killed by a vehicle after she managed to break free from custody. They say she ran onto the westbound lanes of I-10 and was hit by a driver traveling in that direction. It is important to note that that driver did stop to help, but the woman was pronounced dead on the scene. Her identity has not been released, and it's still unclear the reasons as to why she was in custody to begin with. But of course, this incident is all under investigation. Reporting live off of I-10 westbound, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, we now know that while San Antonio police were responding to a deadly shooting last month, they say a man slashed the tires of their police vehicle. Now, that suspect has been arrested, 21-year-old Valentin Jimenez Jr., facing a charge of criminal mischief. Now, this all happened back on March 14th when Kevin Johnson was shot and killed by police. Afterwards, there was a large gathering of people near the scene, members of the crowd chanting obscenities, throwing a rock at a patrol vehicle and slashing a patrol vehicle's tires. According to the arrest warrant, Jimenez matched the description of the suspect on the body cam, the dash cam video, and he was later arrested. Now, we're told Jimenez later admitted to committing the crime.
Happening today, we have a road closure we want to tell you about that's affecting the lanes of I-35 on the northeast side. It'll be between O'Connor and North Weidner roads from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The closure is happening because CPS Energy will be working on the transmission line construction project. If it's a route you were planning on taking today, you'll probably want to take another one.
Now to a story of a Pleasanton man who is reflecting on an accident at his farm. It nearly cost him his arm. He lost a lot of blood and it nearly killed him.
Now, 1 year later, he tells Lee Waldman he's giving back to help others in the same way he was helped.
The scars run deep along Scott Mussey's arm.
It's mostly functional. I still don't have any nerve feeling in my index finger or my thumb.
All things considered, it's a small price to pay after a farming accident April 14th, 2021 nearly took him away from his family.
I was almost done working on my little project and I heard a loud noise and it was just like a big pop.
His arm was severed down to the bone. Mussey was bleeding heavily. His medical team later said he lost nearly half of his body's blood while his wife Melissa applied pressure to the wound.
I had conversations with him. I had conversations with the 911 operator. I had conversations with God.
Mussey was flown to University Medical Center by San Antonio Air Life. He was given 2 transfusions of whole blood on the way.
I can 100% say without that blood, his outcome would have been different. It would have been obviously a lot more detrimental.
Mussey's surgeon told him as a safety protocol he had to wait before he could donate blood.
It's been 1 year since my accident, and so I'm ready to roll up my sleeve today.
Mussey's donation also special because it was on the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center's brand new Alex machine.
It's kind of our machine that collects dual donations. It can collect plasma and red blood cells. It has a smaller needle.
The STBTC has 8 of these machines, which allows them to collect more blood cells and plasma needed, which can help a greater number of patients, giving others like Mussey a second chance.
There's things that he would be missing, and we're so grateful that he's not going to have to miss anything.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Well, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says they'll have those Alex machines or those blood transfusion machines on 4 of their mobile donation sites next month. They're able to perform a plasma-only collection, which will add another option to those mobile procedures.
And of course, if you're interested in donating blood, helping save lives, we have all the information on blood drives happening in and around San Antonio. Just head to KSAT.com.
Well, some other top stories we're following this morning. The Calf's Canyon and Hermit's Peak fire continues to evolve. More than 94,000 acres have been burned and the flames are only about 32% contained. And as the fire continues to push, in those areas of Las Vegas are now in danger of becoming evacuation zones.
All right, so we showed you videos yesterday of the tornadoes in Kansas, but new drone video this morning showing the aftermath of that tornado that barreled through parts of the state. Officials in Wichita say hundreds of homes and buildings either damaged or destroyed, and at one point more than 15,000 people were left without power. In addition to the wreckage, officials say 3 University of Oklahoma meteorology students who were traveling back from storm chasing in Kansas, this was after the tornado, they were killed in a crash.
Well, abandoned and deteriorating water wells across Texas are causing some major concerns about safety and groundwater pollution. Experts say water wells are considered abandoned when they are not in use, and they are considered to be deteriorating when they are likely to cause water pollution. And right now, there are about 150,000 water wells across Texas that need some attention. We've got more details about this story posted on our website. Just look for it on KSAT.com.
Well, Port San Antonio is one of the technological hubs of the Alamo City. Over the last year plus, we've seen the port build a state-of-the-art facility. The first official concert being held at the new Tech Port Center happening tomorrow. That is why later this morning on Leading SA at 8 a.m., President and CEO of Port San Antonio, Jim Perschbach, is joining us live. We're going to be talking about what makes this arena so special, what the city can expect from it, and what the future of technology here in the Alamo City looks like. Time now, just about 6:38, 72 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, the very latest on the war in Eastern Europe, where Russian forces are increasing their attacks on those trying to escape the war zone.
And back here at home, heat and humidity to start the month of May. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey for your full forecast in just a bit. Welcome back. Now to the latest in the war in Ukraine. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi making an unannounced trip to the Ukrainian capital, becoming the most senior United States official to meet with President Zelensky since the war broke out more than 2 months ago.
A new video shows the images from one of the country's hardest hit areas. Here's ABC's Christine Sloan.
Across Ukraine, people continue to flee to safety. At least half the residents in the eastern city of Liman, in the fiercely fought region of Donetsk, have fled since the start of the war. Saturday, around 20 people, most of them elderly, boarding a minivan. The woman saying they are shelling all the time. The windows had been smashed in our house. The missiles are in the yards. Further south, new satellite images show the destruction of Mariupol, much of the city reduced to rubble. Ukrainian officials say about 100,000 residents there are in mortal danger due to the attacks, unsanitary conditions, and a shortage of food and water. Victoria Nikolaeva among those still in the besieged city. We were hungry. Shells were hitting near the house, she says. We were thinking this is it, the end. Russian forces focusing on Ukraine's east and south after failing to capture the capital city of Kyiv. But Kyiv is not immune to attacks by Russian forces. A missile strike late Thursday killed prominent Ukrainian journalist Vera Hirik. At the White House Correspondents' dinner, President Biden praising the Ukrainians and the journalists covering the war.
We've all seen the courage of the Ukrainian people because of the courage of American reporters in this room and your colleagues across the world who are on the ground taking their lives in their own hands.
Attacks are coming from both land and sea. Russia now claiming they hit Ukrainian power substations using Caliber missiles fired from submarines in the Black Sea. In his address Saturday, President Zelensky calling the conflict a, quote, senseless war, and added thousands more Russian soldiers will be killed in the coming weeks. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
All right, well, back here at home, 6:43, 72 degrees out. You want to start singing Justin Timberlake again?
I think the viewers are had enough.
I don't know. We get more and more viewers every 15 minutes.
It's gonna be May.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness, I love it, Sarah. I love it.
I'm glad somebody does.
You know, this May, though, is not this day in May, there we go, is not going to feel much different from the end of April. In fact, a very similar forecast today. Let's take a look outside with live cam. We have got cloudy skies there over San Antonio. We're looking at 410 right there. And just know that while we probably will not have the driving drizzle like what we had yesterday in the morning hours, there could be some areas of sprinkles, light mist out there early this morning, but the road conditions look good. It's 73 degrees. Winds right now are from the southeast, funneling in that Gulf of Mexico moisture, keeping things humid for us. But those winds are actually going to pick up today. In fact, during the second part of the day, it's going to be pretty windy. We'll have sustained winds at 15 miles per hour, but we'll have wind gusts of up to 25, 30 miles per hour during the second part of the day today. So if you have any outdoor plans this Sunday, we're going to need to watch out for some isolated showers and storms. It's going to be hot. You're going to want to stay hydrated, and the winds are going to be pretty windy. It's 71 in Uvalde. It's 69 in Kerrville, 72 in New Braunfels, 76 in Del Rio, 76 in Cotulla, 73 in Pleasanton, and 74 in Kennedy. No rain around San Antonio right now. You look out to the big picture, though, and we've got a fairly dynamic system that's bringing heavier rain up across the Great Lakes and the Appalachian Mountains. And then out to our west, this is our system that we're going to be paying very close attention to. A warm front is going to push off to the north, firing some showers and storms for the hill country. And then Gulf moisture is continuing to funnel its way in. The West Texas dry line has set up in, yes, West Texas, and it is going to push to the east today. So this combination of dry air and Gulf moisture is going to be volatile for parts of Texas as far as severe weather is concerned. Parts of the Panhandle down to Midland, Odessa, and Abilene have a chance for numerous severe storms. But here in the KSAT 12 viewing area, later tonight, that dry line is going to be close to Del Rio, and it'll fire off a few scattered severe storms. Those storms are going to try to make it to San Antonio in the overnight hours, but they will probably weaken fairly substantially. So today's severe weather threat is pretty much west of 281. Large hail and strong winds this evening and overnight. Now, these areas could definitely use some rain. But looking at the futurecast during the day today, we're really not going to see much in San Antonio. An isolated shower or two is possible, especially through lunch. But into the afternoon, we're going to see clearing skies. It's going to be a warm one, and temperatures will climb into the mid 80s. It's late tonight after sunset that we're going to watch out to the west when that complex of storms could develop along that dry line near Del Rio. These storms would be capable of large hail and gusty winds. Then as we head into the overnight hours, that storm system is going to try to make it to San Antonio, but it's likely going to weaken before it gets here substantially, if it gets here. But this particular model does show some rain, at least into the early morning and pre-dawn hours of Monday. So that could make the morning commute a bit damp in spots. We'll be keeping an eye on things. The big takeaway to know, though, is that rain is not likely today, but an isolated shower or storm is possible. This morning, we're going to be in the 70s with a few sprinkles. And as we head into the afternoon, that's when we're going to start to see the sun pop out. That's when we're going to start to see those winds pick up. Temperatures will be starting to get into the 80s after lunch. It's going to be warm and humid. If you have outdoor plans today, for the most part, there should not be any issues. Again, it's later tonight that we'll be watching out west for those showers and storms that could develop along that dry line. 88 for the high temperature in San Antonio. It'll be 90 in Port SA, 87 in Converse, 84 in Bernie, 84 in Comfort, 87 in New Braunfels, 90 in Hondo, 90 in Sabinal. And then again, the better chance for showers and storms, even though it's not a great chance in San Antonio, is overnight tonight as that complex tries to make its way to us. Then throughout the day tomorrow, an isolated shower is possible, but not likely. And honestly, that is the story for the week ahead. Every day we're going to be warm and humid with spotty showers and storms possible. No big rainmakers, but it's going to be a week where every day you're going to want to tune into the forecast, because we are going to have a chance for rain every day, and we'll be able to refine that forecast too. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. Just about 6:49, 72 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA.
All right, we are talking NFL draft, how the Cowboys fared, how the Texans fared, and of course, we got to represent some of our own homegrown talent. We're going to explain in just a bit.
Take a look outside with the roads. If you are up and early and going to head out maybe to church or run some errands, looks like things are pretty clear out there.
Let's take a look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 916, Fireball 9. Daily 4, 6471, Fireball 8.
Cash 5, 4, 13, 15, 27, 30. Texas Lotto 1, 8, 13, 18, 34, 45. Powerball 14, 21, 37, 44, 63. Powerball 1. Power Play 3.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Well, welcome back. When it comes to the NFL draft, the goal of every team is to get better. And, well, the Cowboys believe they've done that. They picked 9 players, 6 of them just yesterday, wrapping up the draft. So they picked 4 offensive players, led by tackle Tyler Smith. They were the Cowboys' first pick. Defensively, they drafted 5 rookies, including defensive tackle John Ridgeway. Sarah, he's 6'5", 321 pounds. He's a big man.
Wow.
So Dallas will add nearly 20 more rookie free agents during the next couple of days. See who can make the cut. So our other Texas team, the Houston Texans, they were higher up in the draft. They drafted 9 players, including 4 yesterday. And, of course, if you watched or been following, LSU cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., that was the Texans' first pick, 3rd overall in the pick. And then, of course, their second first-round pick, Texas A&M offensive guard Kenyon Green, 15th overall in round 1. Their last pick in the 6th round, offensive tackle Austin DeKellis from LSU. So the Texans drafted players in every position group other than quarterback. And speaking of people who were drafted, huge shout out to the San Antonio area. A lot of homegrown talent. Safety J.T. Woods from Seal High School. 3rd round pick by the Chargers, defensive end DeMarvin Leal, and A&M. There you go. Shout out to Sarah Spivey. He was picked in the 3rd round, going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. And in round 4, offensive lineman Spencer Buford from Wagner High School and UTSA, selected by the 49ers. And of course, speaking of UTSA, we got a bunch of names here. So, like I said, you go to UTSA, you improve your chances of getting drafted. Clarence Hicks going to the Bengals, Leroy Watson, Falcons, Tariq Woolen, 5th round to the Seahawks. He killed it at the Combine. And then Charles Wiley, Ravens. I'm a big fan of Sincere McCormick. He got an invite to the Seattle Seahawks rookie camp. So we're rooting for you, Sincere. And all those who got drafted, families, good luck. Can't wait to see you in the big screen.
I'm so proud of all of our native San Antonio guys getting drafted. Represent.
Yeah, represent. Time now, just about 6:55, 73 degrees out.
All right, when we come back, Sarah will have our final check of your Sunday forecast.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan Cotto. San Antonio police investigating a crash involving a woman who managed to escape from Via Transit Police custody earlier this morning here on the westbound lanes of I-10. The incident happening close to 2 o'clock this morning. San Antonio police say that woman was hit and killed by a vehicle after she managed to break free from custody. They say she ran onto the westbound lanes of I-10 and was hit by a driver traveling in that direction. It's important to mention the driver did stop to offer help, but the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. Her identity has yet to be released, and it's still unclear why she was in custody to begin with. This crash is under investigation. Reporting, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. A quick reminder for all those watching, a road closure happening today. It'll affect the lanes on I-35 on the northeast side. Closure between O'Connor and North Weidner from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Closure happening because CPS Energy is working on a transmission line construction project.
We're starting to see a little bit of drizzle and mist work its way in. Visibility is down to 3 miles in New Braunfels, down to 7 in Boerne. So we are going to have spits and drizzles this morning. Temperatures are going to be warming up after this morning. We're going to have cloud cover and an isolated shower or two. This afternoon, we'll be able to see some sun. It'll be 88 degrees and windy. Winds from the southeast gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. Our best chance for rain, even though it's not a great chance for rain in San Antonio, is overnight tonight. Now, overnight tonight, we could have a complex of storms make its way into San Antonio from the west. But if you do live out west toward Del Rio, just know that there is a potential for a few severe thunderstorms after about 8 p.m. Otherwise, here in San Antonio, we'll have that chance overnight. An isolated shower or storm is possible tomorrow, especially in the morning. And then looking ahead to the week, a few spotty chances for rain, but nothing really concrete as far as healthy rain goes for us. It'll be warm with a high temperature near 90.
All right.
That rain, it's got to be somebody.
It's May and it's warm.
Thank you, Sarah. We're going to take an hour-long break for Good Morning America, but we'll see you back here at 8 a.m.
We'll see you at 8.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A deadly crash on I-10 shutting down part of the highway. We have all the details coming up.
A man rolls up his sleeve to help save lives, to repay those who did the same, and ended up saving his life. His story of gratitude, straight ahead.
Good morning, I'm Jonathan Gote. Today, May 1st, marks the start of Asian Pacific Heritage Month, and here at the San Antonio Museum of Art, there's going to be lots of family fun. We're going to tell you everything you need to know coming up on GMSA.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City. Not a lot to look at right now. Sarah Spivey telling us some patchy drizzle out there. We're going to check in with her in just a few moments. But until then, good morning. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, and it is officially May 1st. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us.
Good morning. It feels the same though, right? It's like Groundhog's Day. Walked out the side, very humid still.
Hair looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I had to redo it several times after walking outside, back inside. But Sarah, humidity is kind of the story in those patchy showers you were talking about.
Your hair does look great, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, so
we are starting to see some light rain in addition to patchy drizzle start to push up to the north, especially right over the escarpment with the elevation change. Let's go ahead and zoom in to some of these areas that are dealing with some light rain showers. On the northwest side, Chavano Park, you're getting a quick isolated shower. Also Hollywood Park, right at that 281 and 1604 intersection. Out near Scenic Oaks, seeing some very light rain along I-10 up to Leon Springs, and then Smithson Valley area, Canyon Lake, very, very light rain showers, just enough to dampen the roads, make things just a little slick. So if you have early morning plans and maybe you're going to church or just going to get you started on your Sunday a little early, take that umbrella with you for those light rain showers. Otherwise, it's cloudy and humid just about everywhere else. We're dealing with temperatures in the 70s. Winds are from the southeast at 9 miles per hour, but here's what you need to know for today. These morning showers will be around with us, but we'll see some afternoon sun. It's going to be humid, warm, and windy. We'll talk about how windy it'll be. Tonight, we're going to watch some storms out west. They could make it to San Antonio, and those storms could be on the stronger severe side, especially west of San Antonio, but we'll talk more about that. And in the week ahead, spotty rain chances, but that humidity sticks with us all week long. I'll be back with a look at this and more coming up in a bit. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, the lanes of I-10 are now open again following a tragic scene earlier this morning. A woman escaped via transit police custody and wound up dead on the highway after she was hit by a vehicle. All this happening just before 2 o'clock this morning on I-10 and Warsbach. According to police, via transit police had the woman in custody. She somehow broke free from officers and ran onto the interstate where she was hit by a vehicle. The driver did stop to render aid, but the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The westbound lanes were completely shut down for several hours by officers. I-10 is now open, but police are continuing to investigate.
Also in your top stories this morning, we now know the name of the man who was killed in a motorcycle crash on I-35. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying that man as 49-year-old Eduardo Valdez. When we first told you about this crash on GMSA yesterday morning, it happened around 4 a.m. yesterday, I-35 North and Highway 90 exchange on the south side. Police say Valdez lost control of his motorcycle as he was trying to go around a curve. They say Valdez hit a curb. He was thrown from his bike. He was pronounced dead on the scene.
Police say a man is facing a criminal charge for damaging a police vehicle as officers were responding to a deadly shooting on the west side that happened back in March. They say 31-year-old Valentin Jimenez Jr. was arrested for slashing the tires of a patrol vehicle. He is now facing a criminal mischief charge. The incident happened back on March 14th when Kevin Johnson was shot and killed by San Antonio police allegedly. Following that shooting, large crowd of people gathered near the scene. Members of the crowd chanted obscenities, rocked a patrol vehicle and slashed a patrol vehicle's tire. According to the arrest warrant, Jimenez matched the description of the suspect captured on body and dash cam video who slashed the tires after being arrested. Police say Jimenez admitted to the crime. His arm was almost cut off 1 year ago. This after a Pleasanton man is grateful now that not only his arm was saved, but also his life.
So after that farming accident, he received donated blood to replace the blood that he lost. As Lee Waldman tells us, he is now paying it forward, giving back in the same way in which he was helped out.
The scars run deep along Scott Mussey's arm.
It's mostly functional. I still don't have any nerve feeling in my index finger or my thumb.
All things considered, it's a small price to pay after a farming accident April 14th, 2021 nearly took him away from his family.
I was almost done working on my little project, and I heard a loud noise, and it was just like a big pop.
His arm was severed down to the bone. Mussey was bleeding heavily. His medical team later said he lost nearly half of his body's blood while his wife, Melissa, applied pressure to the wound.
I had conversations with him. I had conversations with the 911 operator. I had conversations with God.
Mussey was flown to University Medical Center by San Antonio Air Life. He was given 2 transfusions of whole blood on the way.
I can 100% say without that blood, his outcome would have been different. It would have been obviously a lot more detrimental.
Mussey's surgeon told him as a safety protocol he had to wait before he could donate blood.
It's been 1 year since my accident, and so I'm ready to roll up my sleeve today.
Mussey's donation also special because it was on the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center's brand new Alex machine.
It's kind of our machine that collects dual donations. It can collect plasma and red blood cells. It has a smaller needle.
The STBTC has 8 of these machines, which allows them to collect more blood cells and plasma needed, which can help a greater number of patients, giving others like Mussey a second chance.
There's things that he would be missing, and we're so grateful that he's not going to have to miss anything.
For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Lee Waldman.
All right, last-minute preparations going on right now at the San Antonio Museum of Art for its Family Day.
So today's free event is also celebrating the first day of Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Our Jonathan Cotto is live at SAMA just down the street from KSAT with all those details. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Max. Yeah, I'm right on the corner. And listen, I'm a huge advocate of families getting out and doing something with their families. San Antonio has so much to offer, and today is no exception. We're kicking off Asian Pacific Islander Month, and Michelle Trevino is here with us this morning to explain a little bit more in detail what's going to happen today at the museum. Michelle, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yes, we're going to have a free family day today. It's free for Bexar County residents. The event itself is from 11 to 3, and we are celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It's going to be a full day full of hands-on art making, performances. We're going to have Sari Sari restaurant out here with Filipino food, Aloha Kitchen. It's going to be really awesome. I really encourage everybody to come out today.
What are those times again?
Oh, so the entire event is from 11 to 3, but we will be having performances like every half hour. So if you come in the morning, you'll be able to see everything. And if you come in the little bit afternoon, you'll still be able to see everything because we're going to have several performances and they all kind of repeat. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. There you have it, folks. If you have nothing going on today, make sure you come out to the San Antonio Museum of Art and participate in this beautiful event. And the next coming hour, you don't want to miss out. We might have a preview of some of the performers that are going to be performing throughout the remainder of the day. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, Port San Antonio is one of the technology hubs of the Alamo City. Over the last year plus, the port has been building a state-of-the-art facility, the Tech Port Center.
It's pretty exciting. So tomorrow's the first official concert with the Smashing Pumpkins. So in anticipation, President and CEO of Port SA, Jim Pershbach, is joining us in today's Leading SA segment. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all have some exciting stuff going on.
We really do. Thanks so much for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so Jim, I said it's been a year plus in the making, but really, this idea started 4 years ago.
It sure did, Max. 4 years ago, we stood up at a chamber lunch downtown, so we were going to build a center that would connect people up and show off the great things we're doing in San Antonio. And, 4 years later, here we are, have the building going up. It was just a little over a year ago we started putting the walls up.
So what does the new arena mean for the city of San Antonio?
It means a couple things. The first thing it does is it really gives us a platform to showcase what we do well in San Antonio by bringing people down and seeing all the activity that's going on this campus. The second thing, and a part we're really excited about, the whole model is that the concerts, the food and beverage, the bar we've got down there is going to fund the programming through the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology, through what we call the Kelly Heritage Foundation to honor the legacy of Kelly Air Force Base. So feel good coming down, buy a ticket for one of these shows. because you are directly funding educational opportunities for kids all over our region.
That is very cool. Let's talk about the arena for a bit. So it's $70 million. It's an intimate arena holding about 3,200 people. It's dubbed the most technologically advanced entertainment venue in the world. You know, drawing some of those big names like the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm excited about Boyz II Men. So what are exactly those tech advancements?
Well, there's several. The thing we like to talk about are the musical Tesla coils on the side, shoot out sparks, dozens of feet out and play music. But it's the capability to broadcast on virtually any stream that you want to have out there, to bring in gaming tournaments. We're going to have the first Overwatch competition in 2 years here next Friday. To broadcast, to record, and do virtually anything that you would want to do in arena, we can do right there in-house.
Oh, I'm glad you talked about the education and the legacy. So what does this mean in terms of teaching local students in and around San Antonio, technological opportunities down the line?
We've had 60,000 plus kids come through the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology just in the past 4 years. And that's been in a tiny little space. In July, when the new space is open with the robots and the flight simulators and a whole bunch of excitement, we hope to have 100,000, 150,000 kids coming through. And our goal is to have 1% of those kids get inspired enough that they want to pursue the types of programs that are offered through SAMSAT, whether that's cyber programs, rocketry programs, robotics, or computer programs. And if we do that, and we're creating a pathway for 1,500 young people a year to become entrepreneurship ready, to become job ready, to become college ready, then we think we're doing something really special for the community.
All right, Jim. Before we go, Smashing Pumpkins, are you guys officially sold out yet? I thought I saw maybe you guys had some tickets left online.
I think the show is officially sold out. I think if you go online through the secondary market, you'll be able to find something. But that band is surprisingly popular. It's nice to see the 90s coming back.
I'm very excited about it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And for our viewers, you can watch this full interview later this morning on KSAT.com. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, time now, 8:12, 72 degrees out. Are you going to the concert? You seem very excited about it.
I missed out. They're sold out. I couldn't get tickets. All right. So, okay, this is crazy. A couple makes a discovery that, food can stay long, can be preserved for long. These fries stayed in the walls for a very, very long time. We're going to tell you how long when we come back.
I love the old school logo.
Yeah.
All right, so it's been a big weekend for astronomers. Skies providing some beautiful images. We're going to explain in just a bit.
Fortunately, you really can't see much out there because all those clouds we've been having, a lot of cloud coverage along with that humidity. Hey, Sarah Spivey says there are some patchy showers in our area. She'll tell us where and what's happening when we come back. Okay, the first partial solar eclipse of 2022 took place in the southern hemisphere yesterday.
All right, so the celestial event began in the capital city of Santiago in Chile minutes before the sunset. People wanting to see the partial eclipse, they were urged to protect their eyes.
Looked like a bite of a cookie there. So according to NASA, the next partial solar eclipse will occur in October and will be visible in Europe, Northeast Africa, the Middle East, and Western Asia. Sarah Spivey.
And we get a total solar eclipse in 2024. We do. We're in San Antonio, so we're getting ready for that already. And if you're heading out right now this morning, get ready for a little bit of light rain, especially if you live north of downtown San Antonio. That's where we're seeing some light rain across the area. We'll go ahead and put this on pause. They're moving generally up to the north. Let's go ahead and zoom into some of these areas that are seeing some of the light rain. Areas along the airport seeing just some passing light rain showers. Out near the rim, seeing a light rain shower there. And then near Stone Oak, just some light rain as well along 281 up toward Timberwood Park. Seeing some of that light rain out near Bernie too, and Bergheim. And then in Comal County near the lake itself, seeing some of that light rain pushing up north from New Braunfels toward Canyon Lake, from Smithson Valley toward Fisher. This is very, very light rain. It is not amounting to much, just making things a bit damp at times, especially on the roads. But otherwise, this rain and this isolated rain is going to be with us through the morning. It is very humid outside and fairly cloudy too. It's 73 degrees and winds right now are from the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. But later on today, they're going to be picking up. Here's a look at the wind gust forecast for the day. Into the afternoon, we'll see wind gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles per hour in the evening. So it is going to be a bit windy. Right now, the nuisance thing about the weather is the light rain. To this afternoon, it'll be the windy and humid conditions. Speaking of that humidity, absolute top of the scale humidity, oppressively humid. We've got a warm front to our north that's pushing up across parts of Texas. So although there's some dry air in Abilene later on today, they're going to get the humidity. Off to our west, the West Texas dry line. Why am I showing you this right now? Well, because we've got a pretty volatile situation setting up across West Texas with a combination of some Gulf moisture and some dry air. That's going to fire off a few thunderstorms, and some of those will be severe. Numerous severe weather expected from Midland, Odessa to Abilene to Amarillo, and even some scattered severe weather for Dallas, north of Austin, and Del Rio, our western counties. We're going to see a line of storms develop late tonight after sunset, try to make a run for San Antonio, the I-35 corridor. But it's in these pink areas where we could have some large hail and some strong winds again this evening and overnight. We're going to keep an eye on things, but I wanted to show you here on the Futurecast what the day is going to look like. A few isolated showers like what we're seeing right now are possible through about lunch. Then in the afternoon, we'll be seeing some sunshine and it will be warm near 90. Then late tonight, again, that complex of thunderstorms will develop along the dry line, capable of producing large hail and gusty winds for areas like Del Rio. This is after sunset. And then this complex is going to try to make it to San Antonio in the late night and overnight hours. It's likely going to weaken before it gets here, if it gets here at all. So our chance for showers and storms about 30% in the overnight hours. We're going to be keeping an eye on things. Again, those storms will likely weaken before they make it to San Antonio, but we'll be keeping an eye on things. Then early tomorrow morning, we have a slight chance for some showers during the morning commute as you plan ahead for your week. Looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast for the day today, cloudy with a few light rain showers through about noon. Then in the afternoon, we'll see some sun, and those winds are going to pick up from the southeast, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Temperatures will top off right near 88 degrees in San Antonio for the high temperature. And then late tonight, we'll be watching out west as those storms try to make a run for San Antonio. Otherwise, in the week ahead, a chance for spotty rain just about every day, but the overwhelming weather pattern is going to be humid and warm. Max and Sarah.
All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. 821, 72 degrees out.
All right, get this. A Chicago area couple discovers some fries in their walls. What they're saying, how long those fries have been there for, but it's also Lemonade Day.
Don't ruin it. Come on, you just killed the tease.
Well, no, I'm saying that's what the video was playing. It was
but do you like lemonade?
I love lemonade.
Lemonade or iced tea?
Lemonade.
All right, we're going to explain what makes today so special in just a bit. Good morning and welcome back. So you probably heard someone say McDonald's burgers could survive an apocalypse.
Well,
I've never heard that. Have you heard that
yeah,
before?
I've heard that. So you might want to add the restaurant's fries as well. So look at this. A couple says while renovating their Chicago area home, they found this bag of McDonald's food from 1959.
Wow, I love the logo though.
Their walls.
Throwback.
Oh my gosh. They say these fries, which still have a good bit of color in them, are surprisingly sturdy.
I don't want to describe fries as sturdy.
That bag definitely looks old because you may not recognize the mascot.
So here's a fun fact. That is Speedy. He represented the Golden Arches before Ronald McDonald came to the scene. The couple isn't sure what they're going to do with the decades-old food. Please don't eat it. But they say they are open to selling the preserved fast food fries.
Okay, the fries look like they've changed. Like they're not as skinny.
Well, are you fat shaming the fries?
No, I'm just saying they look like they're cut a little different.
I think that's surprising to me because there's not as much preservatives in the food back then. So
Well,
the fact that they're still around.
You think? Apparently there was.
Jeez.
All right, here's another sweet idea for today. Squeeze in some time for lemonade. It's National Lemonade Day.
All right, so it actually is a campaign to teach kids the power of entrepreneurship through opening up a lemonade stand. Did you have a lemonade stand growing up?
No.
I think we tried it one summer. I think we lost. There's no return on the investment. The overall goal is to instill an entrepreneurial spirit in kids at an early age, helping succeed at the future. As for the profits, kids are encouraged to spend some, save some, or help out food bank.
Max, I'm glad you decided on going in the journalism route.
Yeah.
Not the business route.
No, you lose more than you make. But it was a fun experience. Time now, 8:27, 73 degrees out.
All right, coming up in our next half hour, Ukrainian officials say thousands of residents are in mortal danger as they continue to flee for safety. We have the latest on the war.
And still to come, cleanup underway after an early morning fire at a West Side apartment complex. We're going to explain. Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey. Are you okay?
Sarah Costa. It's May 1st.
It is May 1st. Do you want to do your iteration of Justin Timberlake?
We're good.
Viewers haven't had enough.
The viewers have had enough.
Usually it's April showers bring May flowers, but Sarah, it doesn't seem like we had too many showers.
No, we really didn't in April. We saw a little bit more than an inch of rain, which is well below average. And we're starting off May with a couple of light rain showers out there, but it's not amounting to much. And most of the light rain is occurring north of 1604 at the moment. We're seeing a light rain shower near San Geronimo, seeing a light rain shower near the rim up toward Fair Oaks Ranch and into Kendall County, close to Comfort, a light rain shower in Kerr County, Center Point area, getting a light rain shower at the moment too. And then let's go ahead and go over to Comal County, because from Smithson Valley to Startsville up into the Canyon Lake area itself, seeing some of that light rain as well. But where we're not dealing with light rain, we do have some patchy mist and drizzle. Outside right now, it is cloudy, and we're reporting rain at the airport, although it's not much, maybe only about 1/100th of an inch of rainfall from a passing light rain shower. It is very humid with dew points in the 70s. Here's a look at the visibility. You can see that there's patchy mist and drizzle out near Uvalde, where visibility is down to 5 miles, down to 2-mile visibility in New Braunfels. A closer view of the metro area here, visibility down to 4 miles at Bernie Stage. So today we do have a chance for a light rain shower through about noon. We'll see some sun in the afternoon. It's going to be warm, near 88 degrees, windy too, gusts up to 25. And then tonight we'll be watching storms out west, as those could make it to San Antonio. Some of those storms could be on the strong side. So more on the forecast and that chance for storms late tonight in a few minutes. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, San Antonio firefighters now investigating flames that forced people to evacuate their homes in the middle of the night. Now, those families trying to figure out what to do next. We know the fire happened on the west side around 2 a.m. at the Medio Spring Ranch Apartments. That's on Marbach Oaks Road. Crews out there telling us the flames broke out on the first floor of one of the apartments. Now, those firefighters able to contain the flames before it spread to surrounding buildings. Luckily, no one home at the time of the fire. No injuries reported. Firefighters right now working with those families, trying to figure out where they will go next.
Well, a bar restaurant designed to cater to dogs and their owners, Hops and Hounds, is running into the issue of people abandoning their four-legged furry friends. Other customers and staff have stepped up, and in their own words, they can't adopt every dog left behind. These two were left behind in one of the pens where the dogs are allowed to roam free. That happened back on April 16th, according to management, making it its third time it's happened in the short 2 years the restaurant has been open. The manager explains it's happening just one time is too many.
To see these dogs kind of just confused and sad, I mean, they always just look so sad whenever we are petting them or even feeding them. I mean, they just have a sad face on them, and it's just heartbreaking.
The two pups you see on your screen from the most recent abandonment were taken to Charming Pet Rescue. The other dogs who were left behind were adopted by an employee and a different customer. The establishment is now adding security cameras and having employees watch over the playpen areas to stop any future abandonments.
All right, well, pollution concerns springing up around the Lone Star State. Abandoned and deteriorating water wells across Texas, they're now causing major concerns about safety and possible groundwater contamination. Experts say water wells are considered abandoned when they're not in use and are considered to be deteriorating when they are likely to cause water pollution. Right now, there are around 150,000 water wells across Texas that need attention. We have many more details on this story right now on KSAT.com. It should be on the homepage.
Happening later this morning, a celebration of rich and diverse culture set to take place at the San Antonio Museum of Art.
All right, so the entire city invited out to enjoy food, music, dancing, all for the Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Jonathan Cotto joining us from the museum just around the corner. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Max. Good morning, Sarah. This is a little preview of what folks are going to be able to expect to see if they come out here to the San Antonio Museum of Art. Again, today, May 1st, we're kicking off Asian American Pacific Islander Month, and what better way than do it with some dragon dancers, right? What can folks expect?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to have a huge lineup. We're going to have an opening ceremony with some Vietnamese monks from one of our local temples here in town. We're going to have some Chinese fan dancers, dragon dancers, lion dancers, Hawaiian dancers. We're going to have several performances in about every half hour. So if you don't see something in the morning and come in the afternoon, you'll still have plenty to see and plenty to do.
Now, Michelle, this is just a little bit of what the performers that are going to be here. But outside of the performances, there's also going to be a lot of food.
Absolutely. So we're going to have Sari Sari Restaurant and Bakery here. They're going to be doing a pop-up, really great Filipino food. And we're also going to be having Aloha Kitchen here. So it's going to be super delicious, super authentic. It's going to be great.
Now, the admission, is there a cost to this? Is it free?
So from the hours of 10 to 12, the museum is free for Bexar County residents. 12 and under are always free, so you've got littles, bring them. And after that, it's going to be free for some local school districts. So Harlandale is free, Harlandale ISD, Poteet ISD, come on out. We're also going to have some student art showcases. All of those schools will be free. Anyone a part of that student art showcase.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you so much for having us here. Folks, there you have it. From 11 to 3 p.m., you can catch some of these performances. And if you want to just come out to the museum, that's going to be open from 10 to 5. And again, it's absolutely free. Back to you, Max and Sarah.
Jonathan, thank you. Performers were so cute. Also happening today, something that is probably not as fun. A road closure is set to affect some lanes of I-35, the northeast side today. The closure will happen between O'Connor and North Weidner roads from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The closure is happening because CPS Energy is working on a transmission line construction project. Drivers are urged to take alternate routes for the time being. If needed, this closure could happen again in the next coming weeks of May.
In your morning headlines, members and fans of the country music industry mourning and are in shock after learning country music legend Naomi Judd passed away at the age of 76 years old. She gained worldwide fame as the other member of the Judds, a duo she formed with her daughter, Winona. Naomi Judd won 5 Grammys, charted 14 #1 hits. Her other famous daughter, actress Ashley Judd, announced her mother's tragic death on Twitter. The tweet revealed that Judd lost her mother to the disease of mental illness. She did not provide any more specific details. The Judds actually scheduled to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame later today. Naomi Judd was 76.
The war in Ukraine, Russia assault continues to escalate. What we're now learning about that and those trying to flee.
Plus, satellite images from one of the country's hardest hit areas and what those images reveal. Plus, Joe Biden talking about what's happening on the front lines, covering the conflict. Here's ABC's Christine Sloan.
Across Ukraine, people continue to flee to safety. At least half the residents in the eastern city of Liman, in the fiercely fought region of Donetsk, have fled since the start of the war. Saturday, around 20 people, most of them elderly, boarding a minivan. The woman saying they are shelling all the time. The windows had been smashed in our house. The missiles are in the yards. Further south, new satellite images show the destruction of Mariupol, much of the city reduced to rubble. Ukrainian officials say about 100,000 residents there are in mortal danger due to the attacks, unsanitary conditions, and a shortage of food and water. Victoria Nikolaeva among those still in the besieged city. We were hungry. Shells were hitting near the house, she says. We were thinking this is it, the end. Russian forces focusing on Ukraine's east and south after failing to capture the capital city of Kyiv. But Kyiv is not immune to attacks by Russian forces. A missile strike late Thursday killed prominent Ukrainian journalist Vera Hirik. At the White House Correspondents' dinner, President Biden praising the Ukrainians and the journalists covering the war.
We've all seen the courage of the Ukrainian people. Because of the courage of American reporters in this room and your colleagues across the world who are on the ground taking their lives in their own hands.
Attacks are coming from both land and sea. Russia now claiming they hit Ukrainian power substations using Caliber missiles fired from submarines in the Black Sea. In his address Saturday, President Zelensky calling the conflict a, quote, senseless war, and added thousands more Russian soldiers will be killed in the coming weeks. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
All right, and as you just saw, President Joe Biden and First Lady did attend and even hosting the White House Press Corps Annual Correspondents Association's dinner last night. The MC this year, The Daily Show's Trevor Noah. Now, President Biden did take the opportunity to make light of the criticism he has faced in his now 15 months in office. He took a few jabs at his predecessor and the Republican Party. Now, this is the first for the annual dinner to take place in 2 years because of the pandemic, and Biden joked that he was happy to be with the only group of Americans with a lower approval rating than his own. Time now, 8:41, 73 degrees out.
Max, the boys.
The boys.
The
Cowboys.
They had some draft selections.
The Cowboys, the Texans, and UTSA. We're going to break down a lot of the draft info, plus some of San Antonio's own homegrown talent, now professional football players.
73 degrees at 8:41 this morning. That blanket of humidity still hanging around. Sarah Spivey has our Sunday forecast when we come back.
Putin's war. The president turns to Congress to help the Ukrainians. Now, today, breaking new reports. Plus, Elon Musk takes over Twitter. What does it mean for your free speech? And the GOP's explosive revelations on tape today on ABC's This Week.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. All right, so it is Sunday. I haven't seen the sun yet, Sarah.
Yeah, and we really won't see a good amount of sunshine until this afternoon, Max. And in fact, guys, we're dealing with some light rain showers in areas, especially north of 1604 on the north side of town, and then up into the hill country as well. We'll go ahead and look at some of these very light rain showers. We can get you a neighborhood view here on the radar. So a few light rain showers in my old neck of the woods near the Clark High School area, but near San Geronimo right now, good rain shower just north of 16 Bandera. Up toward Scenic Oaks, seeing some light rain near Bernie as well. Bergheim seeing a light rain shower. Comfort seeing a light rain shower too. Again, these are pushing to the north, so Kerrville, you're getting some very light rain as well right now near Candelia. And then as we head into Comal County, seeing a good light rain shower here, right here, just near West Haven on the west side of Canyon Lake there. So really neat to be able to get a neighborhood view here of these light rain showers, which are going to be with us through the morning, but as you can see, they're mainly pushing outside of San Antonio up to the north into the hill country across the Balcones Escarpment. Outside right now, we've got cloudy skies, and as I just said, we're really not going to see much of any sun until this afternoon. Winds are from the southeast at 7 miles per hour, and yes, the airport was logging a light rain shower briefly. Now, those winds from the southeast at 10, but as we head into the second part of the day here, into the afternoon and evening hours, we're actually going to see wind gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that may disrupt some plans or be a little inconvenient for you during the afternoon and early evening. Take a look at the satellite and temperatures. Again, most of us seeing complete cloud cover. It's 71 in Uvalde, 73 in Hondo, 76 in Pleasanton, 72 in New Braunfels. We'll get a closer metro view here. A few peaks of sunshine, southern Guadalupe County and near Converse, where it's 72, 68 in Bernie, and 70 in Kerrville. So what's the bigger picture here? Well, we've got a fairly dynamic system that's producing a lot of rainfall across the Appalachian Mountains and across the Great Lakes, but our eyes are really off to the west today. We've got some Gulf moisture streaming in, and that's going to combine with a dry line out to the west. The difference in the dry air and the very humid air, that's where some thunderstorms are going to bubble up today, and some of which could be on the stronger severe side. Numerous severe storms for Midland, Abilene, Amarillo, but even across the KSAT 12 viewing area, there will be an opportunity for some scattered severe storms late tonight, especially for areas like Del Rio, Rock Springs, and even out toward Eagle Pass. Some storms will develop along that dry line late tonight, capable of some large hail and some strong winds. Notice that San Antonio not really included in the main severe weather threat, and that's because as these storms develop out west and try to push towards San Antonio, they're likely going to weaken in the evening hours. So let me show you the high-res futurecast. During the day today, like we're seeing right now, a few light rain showers until about noon. And then in the afternoon, that's when we'll see some sun. It's going to be nice and warm, near 90 degrees this afternoon for many folks. And then late tonight, after sunset, that complex of thunderstorms will develop along that dry line. And Del Rio could be in for a little bit of severe weather, as well as some heavier rainfall. This is going to try to push east. It's likely going to weaken as it moves east, but it could make it to San Antonio in the overnight hours in the form of some showers and some rumbles of thunder. Chance for rain's about 30%. We may have some damp spots on the road early tomorrow morning too. But again, most of today will be quiet for San Antonio. We'll be looking at as clearing skies around noon. Will be near 80. Winds are going to pick up in the afternoon from the southeast at 15, gusts up to 25. We'll see some sun and a high temperature near 88 degrees. Then we'll be watching overnight tonight for those storms out west. We'll be keeping an eye on things on Air Online, the KSAT Weather Authority app too. In the week ahead, an isolated shower or storm just about every day possible, but it's mainly going to be warm, near 90 degrees every day, guys.
All right, May off to a hot start. You know who else is off to a hot start?
Hot start summer.
Okay, wasn't going to go that. I was going to say our Texas Pro team. That's fun. All right, so when it comes to the NFL draft, the goal of every team is to get better. The Cowboys believe they've done just that. They had 9 picks, 6 of them yesterday in the draft. They selected 4 offensive players, and that was led by their first-round pick, Tyler Smith. Now, defensively, they drafted 5 rookies, including defensive tackle John Ridgeway. He's 6'5", 321 pounds. So Dallas will now add about 20 more rookie free agents during the next couple of days. But one of the stars of the draft, the Houston Texans. They drafted 9 players, including 4 yesterday. So at the top of the board, they selected LSU cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. That was the 3rd overall selection in the entire draft. And of course, if you're from Texas or you went to A&M, you know this man, offensive guard Kenyon Green. He was picked with the 15th overall pick in the first round. So their last pick was in the 6th round, offensive tackle Austin DeClellis from LSU. So the Texans drafted players from every position group except for quarterback. And we are in San Antonio, so we got to represent. We have a bunch of talent right here in the Alamo City. JT Woods from Steele headed to the Chargers. DeMarvin Leal, also from A&M. From Judson, going to the Steelers. Spencer Buford, UTSA, and Wagner headed to the Niners. But also, we had about 5 UTSA players who are headed to the next level, playing in the pros, including Sincere McCormick, who got an invite to the Seattle Seahawks minicamps.
Best of luck to all of them.
Always. All right, time now just about 8:52, 73 degrees out.
Hey folks, I'm Jonathan Cota. There's a lot that takes place inside Lackland Air Force Base. Tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to give you a close look at what basic military training looks like for recruits arriving here in San Antonio.
A few light rain showers out there this morning, but into the afternoon we'll see sun. It'll be warm and windy, gusts up to 25 miles per hour, a high temperature in the upper 80s. Late tonight, we're going to be watching storms out west. They're going to try to make a run for San Antonio in the overnight hours. Some of those storms could be strong or severe, so please keep up to date with the weather. You can do so on the KSAT Weather Authority app, and of course, meteorologist Katie Blake will have the latest for you coming up at 5:30 tonight. So in the week ahead, you know, it's going to be warm. There's going to be a chance for rain just about every day, so continue to stay up to date with us.
All right. Sarah Spivey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. While we have 20 seconds left, do you guys have any good plans to head out and about?
I think I'm going to try to go to McNay. They have a free day starting at noon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
My parents are in town. Hi, Mom and Dad. Thanks for watching.
Have a great Sunday.
Bye,